maple syrup, Ben & Jerry's ice cream, and cannabis.
It brings me back to those high school days when I won't say what I was doing and I was playing games like this.
The feds will have to come in and try to clamp down on this. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be very ugly.
Welcome to Travels with Charlie. It's Vermont Politics in Real Life. We're at Rozzi's Lakeshore Tavern in Colchester. And my guests today are former judge and former representative Ben Joseph and your Lieutenant Governor David Zuckerman. We're going to have a friendly, at least I hope it's going to be friendly, game of pool, and we're going to be discussing legalizing marijuana. So thanks guys for coming out today. Are you ready to play some pool?
Oh, I'm ready for anything.
You're ready?
Oh yeah.
Let's get it started. Oh, look at that.
I hit it with this end,
At
right?
first.
Yes,
okay.
yeah. So Ben, you were a judge for how many years?
See, 12 years full-time and about 5 years part-time.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
The whole issue of tax revenue. Sometimes I think we get kind of thinking that, oh, this is going to be great for Vermont, the economy, maple syrup, Ben & Jerry's ice cream, and cannabis.
So I've worked on this issue since I first ran for office in 1994. It was not originally about tax revenue. It was really about why is cannabis illegal and alcohol legal? We've learned that a regulated system is a better way to go. And yet this was a way to potentially capitalize on our agricultural strength. But that is not the original reason to...
You think you're going to get that shot, really?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I'm going to get it, but
All
that's
right.
what I'm going to try to do. See? Not going to happen.
Oh. So does Vermont become sort of this destination? People
Well,
come here, our craft beer.
We as political leaders go, hey, look at this great thing we have with craft beer. I think it's a bit hypocritical to say that's a great thing.
Well, this is something I agree with you about.
Right.
I mean, this whole thing about the craft beer, every day you turn on the TV and there is another ad for this charming thing, beer.
Yeah, but David, what you're saying,
I don't think so.
No, well, I don't think so, but I think the promotion of beer is causing more highway deaths and other things. And the promotion of marijuana will do exactly the same thing.
Well, no one's advocating for the promotion of marijuana. That's
Well,
the thing.
sure you are. There's no proposal in the marijuana legalization laws that I've heard of that would prohibit advertising or promotion of this stuff.
So would you support it if we added that into the bill?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But I think you should.
Oh, yeah. Hey! You did it. All right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How many years since you played darts?
I can't remember, really.
It's probably been over 10 years.
Over 10 years?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You're doing
You
good.
did pretty well on the pool table.
Whoa.
Look at this. There's David right there. 10 years?
It's been 10 years.
Been 10 years. Oh, okay. Ben, one of the things that we haven't really talked about in terms of legalizing marijuana is the issue of federal government versus state government.
Right.
So Vermont legalizes marijuana and the federal government still doesn't recognize it. That's a real issue, isn't it?
Obviously, it's very complicated. I just think that as more people are killed and more people admitted to hospitals, then the feds will have to come in and try to clamp down on this. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be very ugly.
So you really think that
that's ugly.
the federal government would come in and say, you can't have it legal in Colorado, you can't have it legal in Vermont, David? You see
I
that
think
ever happening?
that's extraordinarily unlikely. You're looking at the direction of this country, both in terms of popular support and even some law enforcement that have now seen it legal, saying, you know what, this is not the problem that we need to be tackling. We've got heroin problems. I appreciate the judge's different perspective on this, but the numbers just have not borne out as far as this sudden increase. If there's any increase, it's primarily due to reporting, not because of the change in activity.
Well, sales have gone up in stages in Colorado. In 2001, 2002, they started to legalize medical marijuana. And they went from 4,000 prescriptions a year to 100,000.
And actually, with the medical system, I think it's very important to point out, Colorado has a much more open and loose medical system than we do. We have not seen that same kind of increase here because it's actually a more regulated, harder thing to get.
As a matter of principle, I think, marijuana, THC, is a drug. And if it's a drug that can treat an ailment, it should be available for that purpose, but not for recreation, not for people who are selling it.
You don't think ever? You'll never, regardless of how a bill is written or a state decides to regulate marijuana,
Right.
you would never be for legalizing.
I'm not for legalizing. I'm
recreational
not
use
for
of
legalizing it unless you can show me that legalizing will cause less use, and it won't. Everybody concedes that legalization is going to cause more use of the stuff.
How about if you take a shot and you hit that red dot in the middle?
Yeah.
David on Tuesday will go into the legislature and say, I'm pulling the plug on legalizing marijuana.
He's safe.
We're going to bring it over here to Pac-Man. This could be a real challenge because David and I have been here for the last 20 minutes trying to figure out where does the quarter go.
Try the one with the light.
Okay, we'll try that one. There you go. Whoa! So David's going to tell us he hasn't played this game in about 20 years, right? Yeah, you were just in here last week, David.
No.
Okay.
Watch out for those creatures. Don't run into them. You want to eat all those little dots. Oh, look at that.
I was just in Iceland for a week for a conference on substance abuse, and they have had a tremendous success in reducing substance abuse among young people. In Reykjavik is 150,000 people. 7% of the municipal budget is spent on youth activities.
Yep.
And in the last 20 years, they've reduced abuse of alcohol and other drugs dramatically. What they're trying to do is spend a lot of time and effort on giving kids good activities, things to do,
Absolutely.
sports and after school. Useful, productive activities are what are needed. It's really a model what's happened there.
Absolutely.
Whenever you bring these things up, though, Ben, as you know,
It costs money.
It costs money.
Oh well, I got to
talk
tell you,
about
I got to tell you,
But it's money well spent.
you know, you got to face up to it. I mean, this kind of thing is going to cost money. Inequitable distribution of wealth is what's causing a lot of these problems, and we've got to do more. And that's a job of government. And I only wish that you will have success in doing that.
Well, you know, I've been trying on that one for 20 years.
I understand. I wish you well.
We'll see
I
what
wish
happens
you
with
well.
that. Yeah, I appreciate that.
I think we should bring Pac-Man to Montpelier, to the legislature, and
It's a solution maker.
and it's a solution maker if we can figure out how to use it. I think, David, you won on this game as well.
Yeah, he's a winner.
So it's 2-1.
It brings me back to those high school days when I won't say what I was doing and I was playing games like this. But I've become much more productive since.
Good. Thank you, Charlie.
Yeah, thanks, guys, for coming out. Really
Good
appreciate
conversation.
it. Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, Judge.
Oh, good to see you, man. Good luck.
Absolutely. I hope you're having fun in the outside world.
Oh, I'm having fun.
Good.
Yeah, I'm having
There you
fun.
go. I want to thank my guest today. We had a great conversation with Lieutenant Governor David Zuckerman and former Judge Ben Joseph at Rozzi's Lakeshore Tavern right here in Colchester with my good friend Jamie Rozzi. Jamie, thanks for letting us come out and shoot pool and play Pac-Man and shoot darts early in the morning. It was a great day here today, great discussion, great conversation. Our next episode, we're going to be shooting at Chef's Corner in Williston, so don't miss that. We're on the web and we're on Facebook. Travels with Charlie.
Well, it's all about all the folks you meet, sitting in a diner or out in the street. Catch up with the news, get your point of view. I want to hear what unravels